Hey guys, so I'm going to continue reading the crossover. So this poem is called How Do You Spell Trouble? During the vocabulary test, JB passes me a folded note to give to Miss Sweet Tea, who sits at the desk in front of me and who looks pretty nice in her new capris and matching sneakers. Someone cracks a window. A cold breeze whistles. Her hair dances to its own song. In this moment, I forget about the test and the note until JB hits me in the head with his number 2 pencil. Somewhere between camaraderie and imbecile, I tap her beige shoulder with a note. At that exact moment, the teacher's head creeps up from his desk. His eyes directly hit me. I'm a fly caught in a web. What do? Hand over the note, embarrass JB, or hide the note and take the heat? I look at my brother, his forehead a factory of sweat. Miss Sweet Tea smiles. I know what I have to do. Bad news. I sit in Mom's office for an hour, reading brochures and pamphlets about the Air Force and the Marines. She's in and out handling principal stuff. A parent protesting her daughter's F, a pranked substitute teacher crying, a broken window. After an hour, she finally sits in the chair next to me and says, "The good news is I'm not going to suspend you. The bad news, Josh, is that neither Duke nor any other college accepts cheaters. Since I can't seem to make a decent man out of you, perhaps the Air Force or Marines can." I want to tell her I wasn't cheating and that this was all JB's fault, that this will never happen again, that Duke is the only thing that matters. But a water pipe bursts in the girls' bathroom, so I tell her I'm sorry, it won't happen again, then head off to my next class. Gym class. Gym class is supposed to be about balls, volleyballs, basketballs, softballs, soccer balls, sometimes sit-ups, and always sweat. But today, Mr. Lane calls us not to dress out. He's standing in front of the class, a dummy laid out on the floor, plastic, faceless torso cut in half. I'm not paying attention to anything he's saying, or to the dummy, because I'm watching Jordan pass notes to Miss Sweet Tea, and I wonder what's in the notes. "Josh, why don't you come up and assist me?" "What? Huh?" The class snickers, and before I knew it, I'm tilting the dummy's head back, pinching his nose, blowing in his mouth, and pumping his chest 30 times, all the while thinking that if life is really fair. One day I'll be the one writing notes to some sweet girl, and JB will have to squish his lips on someone's dummy sweaty mouth. All right, second quarter. Conversation. "Hey, JB. I played a pickup game at the rec today. At first, the older guys laughed and wouldn't let me in unless I could hit from half court. Of course, I did, all net. I wait for JB to say something, but he just smiles, his eyes all moony. I showed them guys how the Bells ball. I scored 14 points. They told me I should try out for junior varsity next year because I got hops. JB, are you listening?" JB nods, his fingers tapping away on the computer, chatting, probably with Miss Sweet Tea. "I told the big guys about you, too. They said we could come back and run with them any time. What do you think about that?" "Hello," earth to JB. Even though I know he hears me, the only thing JB is listening to is the sound of his heart bouncing on the court of love. Conversation. "Dad, this girl is making Jordan act weird. He's here, but he's not. He's always smiling, his eyes get all spacey whenever she's around, and sometimes when she's not. He wears your cologne, he's always texting her, he even wore loafers to school. Dad, you gotta do something." Dad does do something, he laughs. "Filthy, talking to your brother right now would be like pushing water uphill with a rake, son." "This isn't funny, Dad. Say something to him, please." "Filthy, if some girl done locked up JB, he's going to jail. Then let's go get some donuts." Basketball rule number 5. When you stop playing your game, you've already lost. Show off. Up by 16 points with 6 seconds showing, JB smiles, then struts, sidestep stutters, spins and sinks with a six slick sliding sweet 7-foot shot. What a show off. Out of control. "Are you kidding me? Come on, ref, open your eyes. Ray Charles could have seen That kid walked. Call the traveling violation. You guys are terrible. Mom wasn't at the game tonight, which meant that all night Dad was free to yell at the officials, which he did. Mom calls me into the kitchen. Mom called me into the kitchen after we get home from beating St. Francis. Normally she wants me to sample the macaroni and cheese to make sure it's cheesy enough, or the oven-baked fried chicken to make sure it's not greasy and stuff. But today, on the table, is some gross-looking orange creamy dip with brown specks in it. A tray of pita bread triangles beside it. Maybe Mom is having one of her book club meetings. Sit down, she says. I sit as far away from the dip as possible. Maybe the chicken is in the oven. Where's your brother, she asks. Probably on the phone with that girl. She hands me a pita. No thanks, I say, then stand up to leave, but she gives me a look that tells me she's not finished with me. Maybe the mac is in the oven. We've talked to you two about your grandfather, she says. He was a good man. I'm sorry you never got to meet him, Josh. Me too. He looked cool in his uniforms. That man was way past cool. Dad said he used to curse a lot and talk about the war. Mom's laugh is short, then she's serious again. I know we told you Grandpop died after a fall, but the truth is he fell because he had a stroke. He had heart disease. Too many years of bad eating and not taking care of himself. What does that have to do with anything, I ask, even though I already know. Well, our family has a history of heart problems, she said, so we're going to start eating better, especially Dad. And we're going to start tonight with some hummus and pita bread. For my victory dinner, Josh, we're going to try to lay off the fried foods and Golden Dragon. And when your dad takes you to the recreation center, no Pollards or Krispy Kreme afterward, understand? And I understand more than she thinks I do. But is hummus really the answer?